Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm sat on my tractor at the moment. There she is, absolutely filthy. Anyway, sometimes during the course of my day I will pop into the shed, get a drink of water, and have a bit of a sit down. I don't really have any benches as such, but thought I'd start off this video in here just by just heard something rattling around in here, a bee or something flying around. Beginning of May and it's very warm outside. I've got 32 degrees again today, so been busy doing transplanting and stuff like that. But I've also found out that purely by accident I have increased my own garden biodiversity and also changed how it all looks, and I didn't do anything. So let's show you what I've been up to. Okay, so the first thing that started by accident was last year, where these acacias started to appear in the, just popped up, and they are produced in the main by roots coming off the main parent plant. And when these all come into leaf, they will be quite a nice, what's the word I'm looking for, structure if you like. Again, purely by accident, but also I've been letting all the wildflowers just grow. So here we go. This is the side, or the front rather, of the shed. There you go. And as you know, we've got all this yellow mustard growing. And also here, we've got poppies coming through. And all different types. Now these particular ones at the minute are cornfield poppies they're called, but there's so many different types in here. There's a couple of dandelions that have gone to seed as well. But look at all the insects that I've got. There you go. And we've got all kinds of hoverflies feeding off. Well, you try and get close to one, it's impossible to film them. But as this yellow mustard dies back, there's a wild geranium there, I'll cut these out because I don't want them to go to seed as such, but then that will allow the poppies to come through. I heard the noise, and there he is. Look, he's up there. He's being a bit of a nuisance today because there's a sparrow nesting in the ridge of the roof, and he keeps trying to get to it. He's a naughty puss. Anyway, back to this. So in here, I've got all kinds of things, predominantly insects, obviously. And there's a lot of them. I've got wildflowers here from a meadow, basically. I've got cornflowers, like I said, the poppies. This is obviously a space that the dog is running through because she's probably hunting lizards. But it's absolutely full of insects. Absolutely packed solid. Now that, to me, is a bit of biodiversity. This pink flower here is a vetch, very nitrogen fixing, so that's a good thing to have. That, you can see him, is a chafing beetle. And for some reason they're attracted to yellow flowers. I mentioned that before, but look at it, and it's basically, it's hidden the side of the shed, that structure, purely by accident. I've done nothing to this, but what I will do is I'll maintain it as a kind of wildflower meadow if you want. Because it's not been done deliberately, I think it looks more natural, and because of that I'm getting no end of wildlife coming through here. Now that, to me, helps with biodiversity. So here's another good example. So there I've got some field poppies. These are the cornflowers. I think they're fantastic colours. And we've now also got some daisies coming through. We used to have oxide daisies in the UK, and we thoroughly enjoyed them, and these are just appearing. And so what I'm doing is that when I'm cutting grass, rather than having it in dead straight lines, if I come across something, I'm going to cut round it to increase that biodiversity, because as I've said before, this was just a ploughed field. It looked like that next door. And within a couple of years, things are taken over. Now you see again here, okay, I've got a bit of grass here, that's fine. But these are huge poppies. And this will all be red. Once this yellow goes down, it will all come into the red for the poppies and the blue of the cornflowers. There's the strawberries in here from a knackered strawberry bed. We spoke about that a few weeks back now, I think. But look at the colour. And like I say, I've done absolutely nothing to this. So just by allowing certain areas to just do their own thing, you can increase your biodiversity no end. So here's another good example. So there's our fence, and then I've left a strip of about 1 metre just to let these wildflowers grow. And again, full of insects. More poppies there. Goes all the way along. And then what I've done here, I've created a square. So I've mowed this section and I've gone down there, but then all of this block is full of poppies, cornflowers, cornubuncles, all kinds of things, daisies, you name it, it's all in there. And so I'm just going to let it grow, die down and grow. You know, the colours will change as the plants do their thing. And then when they've all gone to seed, just before they start to disperse, I should cut it all down, leave it on the ground, let it rot through, feed the soil for the following year. So it would take me, what, no more than 5 minutes to cut this with a mower. That's if I'm not sitting on it having water in the shed. But yeah, you know, no effort whatsoever. So I think what I'm saying here really is that if you have the opportunity to allow a piece of your ground or your space to be taken over by wildflowers, it could well be a good thing for you, and certainly for your garden, and definitely for the wildlife, and increasing its biodiversity. And so with that in mind, I'm now looking at all the, okay, I've got a big space here, I know that. But if I come across areas where this is happening, I'm just going to leave it to do its thing. I think that's the best thing I can do. Now, this is a great example of what you can achieve if you leave plants to do their thing. Now, looking down here, this is a pea. And I planted these. I planted quite a few of them when we literally, within a couple of weeks of us being here, I popped some of these guys into the ground. And this one has come back year after year. Well, say year after year. It sounds like I've been here a long time. 3 years. It's 3 years old. It's got flowers on it. It does produce some peas. We never harvest them, but it just comes back every single year. Now, I just think that's amazing. And I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to leave it. Leave it to do its thing and be as natural as it wants to be. Now, the other beauty about all this is that, okay, I don't use chemicals. Channel name, Organic Master Gardening, but we're going through a bit of a change in that regard. Because, as I've been saying recently, I don't think it's possible for anybody to follow one particular train of thought. So I'm looking at not only just doing the no-dig side of stuff, I'm also looking at being, look at that, beautiful, isn't it? It's just incredible. I'm looking at bringing in all different kinds of things, because none of us, I don't think, can actually follow one thing all the time, 100%. So look at that, I've just increased my biodiversity by doing absolutely nothing. And the beauty of it is, I didn't dig it, I didn't use chemicals. I mean, it ticks all the boxes, doesn't it? Well, I hope you like that. I hope it's given you some ideas. These acacias, I mean, they are pretty fierce, aren't they? And if it has given you some ideas, let me know. Drop me a comment or just give me a thumbs up. And I'll catch up with you very, very soon.